What is up, Facebook? How are we doing tonight?
Hi.
How are you doing tonight? More importantly, how are you feeling? Because you know what I say, when you feel good. When you feel good, the most important thing is feeling good. Because you can get through a lot more if you feel good. Because when you feel good, you flat out do good. What is up? It is Wednesday night. It's time for Driven. We're going to have some fun tonight. Thank you guys for hopping on. I do appreciate it. To all the live viewers, let's have some fun tonight. Drop some likes, drop some loves, drop some questions, drop some comments. What up, Patrick? He's on. We're good. We're a go. Episode 21. It's called Throttle Therapy. We all need a release. We all need that thing, and we all pursue that same sort of thing. Everybody on this show doesn't always ride, but they have that thing. They have that way to release. They have that way to clear their mind. You have that way to ground, center, and get yourself back. You have that way to reset. A lot of us choose to do it on the top of a horsepower, blasting up a mountain. And I want to give a huge shout out to all the people up in Truckee right now. There's a huge Forest Service meeting going on. We're trying to protect our riding areas in the Tahoe National Forest. There's a bunch of people up there. I was unable to make it. I extremely wish I could have been up there, but I'm here with you guys tonight. I had some stuff to take care of today that I couldn't make the trip up there. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody that's up there. Save Tahoe, or save Sierra sledding. Save Tahoe sledding. Hashtag save sledding worldwide. What is up? It's Driven time. It's episode 21. We're going to have some fun. What is this? Who am I? And what are you going to get out of it? I totally lost my script. I write stuff down. It helps me process. How you doing? Dean's on. What up, my man? Austin, Megan, Brad, Patrick, Jason Baran. What's up, brother? How's everybody doing? What are we doing tonight? We're going to meet an upcoming player in the snow bike industry. Not only riding, but building business off the back of it. Chasing his passions to pursue that throttle therapy. That's the name of his company, so we're going to highlight it a little bit later. We're going to learn a little bit about his story. You're going to get to meet Patrick Riske. Number 2, you're going to get real talk about starting, growing, pursuing your passions. Like, we all have that thing. We all have that burning desire inside of us to reach for greatness, to be good at what we want to be good at, to pursue what makes us happy and what makes us feel fulfilled. We're going to touch on that. Number 3, the third thing you're going to get you're going to see the power of networking. This show, everything we have done here, everybody that we've had come on is through the power of networking. It's having conversations with people. It's learning about them, sharing your story, hearing their story, and picking each other up and maybe providing some value to somebody. As Gary Vee does, he likes to do this, back and forth, man. Providing some value to other people on some stuff that maybe you excel at, maybe they don't. So we're going to hit those 3 things. What am I? Who am I? I'm Scott Spero. If you know me, you know me. If you don't, you're going to get to know me a little bit better, and I hope you follow along, and I hope you appreciate this. I appreciate your time. Most importantly, I know we all have crazy schedules. Everybody's got a lot going on. So most importantly, I thank you for your time this evening. If you get some value from this, we ask that you share this out. And if you have some fun, drop some questions. Let me know you're watching. Let me know where you're from. I'm right here in Nevada, Fallon. It's kind of over by Reno. We're up north. It's a long way from Las Vegas for everybody that asks. I'll give a shout out to this episode's sponsor. Once again, it's Ride Life Dynamics. We're launched. We're live. The website's up. RideLifeDynamics.com. It's a brand that my son and I kind of built together. We're working on it together. It represents what we want to do. It represents our passion, and it represents that driven mindset that we're all about on this network. What's up, Trevor? Promise. It's all good, buddy. We all get busy. What up, Shelby? Doing good. Everybody check out Shelby Paget. He launched a daily vlog taking you through the stuff he does, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's recreational, riding motos, stand-up paddleboards. Check out Shelby Paget, check out John Farian. He has a new show and it is lit. It's going crazy. Tons of people interacting, great value, tons of fun. RideLifeDynamics.com. Check it out. They're our sponsor this week. Weekly blog coming out. Posted it on my page, dropped a little bit down. I'll get once I figure out how to get an email set up to where you can get notified and subscribe and stuff like that. We'll get there and we'll get you guys on there and we'll keep you updated on what we're doing in the company. So who am I? I'm Scott Spero. Like I said, I'm a dad, I'm a sledder, and I got my vision set on exactly what means the most to me. I have my goals wrote out. I have my plan. Plans change, but I have what I want to accomplish. Not every step. I got to fill in some blanks along the way, but I'm growing as a person. I'm growing as somebody that's I don't even like to use the word entrepreneur because I don't really know what it means. I'm just trying stuff and I'm reaching out to people that when I don't know what's going on, hopefully they do, and we network a little bit and we get us both where we want to go. So what are we doing here at Driven? We have some fun. Like I said, it's a place to grow your network. Come, connect, have some fun, hear some stories, meet some people that either, have a great story to share about something in life that hopefully you get some value from. Maybe they got a company that they're building out of their passion, and I love connecting with those kind of people, and that's what we're here to do. Have some fun. It's about that driven mindset, the people that go all day, every day, nonstop, to get where they want to go, to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. The driven mindset, from well-knowns to unknowns. And if they're unknowns, you're going to see them here first, and then you're going to be like, whoa, I remember that guy on Driven. He was one of Scott's guests. It was awesome. So that's what we're here to do. We're have some fun along the way. How are you doing? What's up, Jan, my man? Vince is on. What's up, friend? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Curtis, you betcha, buddy. So what is this all about? I get the question a lot, and I try to say it in the intro, and sometimes maybe it gets breezed over a little bit. Maybe it gets lost a little bit in conversation too, but just so you guys know, this is a show that I created basically to kind of share my process. I was venturing into a new field, doing some things that I've never done before, and I kind of found out that I wasn't really equipped to handle a lot of it. So what I did was I opened a book to start learning a few things. I started trying to look at things from a different perspective, basically. I listen to Frank Sell a lot. I share a lot of his stuff. You guys connect with him. He always bases it off of whose thinking are you thinking. And I was trying to move to a new phase in my life, and I was taking the old mindset and the old way I was thinking of all the things that got me to where I was currently. I looked at it and I realized, hey man, what I'm doing, the path I'm on, the mindset I have, and the way I'm doing things is not going to get me to where I want to go. It's not going to take me from here to there. It's just going to keep me going on that path. And to be able to get to where I wanted to go, I had to learn some stuff. I had to kind of not change how I thought. I had to just adjust my mindset. I had to adjust how I saw situations. I had to adjust how I was approaching life, basically. I opened a book. Oh my God, there's so much. Drop some fire bombs or fire emojis in the comments if you're just blown away by how much knowledge there is in a book. I'm going to read something real quick. Again, I brought this up last week. Tim Grover's Relentless. I'm a couple chapters in now, and it's good, man. It's just good. Get it? Audio, whatever. Write it, read it. So he's talking about the mental, the mind, training your mind to be able to make the body do what you want it to do. So I read and I quote directly from the book. Thank you, Tim. The fact is, you can't train your body or excel at anything before you train your mind. You can't commit to excellence until your mind is ready to take you there. Teach your mind to train your body. Physical dominance can make you great. Mental dominance is what ultimately makes you unstoppable. Unstoppable. That's what that is. So Tim Grover's Relentless. It's my daily reading. I hit it every morning. I've been on night shift, so I hit it in the afternoon, but it's my morning anyway. So yeah, check it out, dude. I love it. He's talking. He's trained greats like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade. in the basketball world, but just pure driven. He calls them cleaners. I see where he's coming from. Totally cleaners. Blair, what is up? How are you doing? That's what I'm talking about. So tonight's show, Throttle Therapy, I asked the question, what is your release? What do you do? A lot of us ride sleds, I know that, but what is that therapy, and why do we do it, and why do we pursue it, and all the adjustments we make in our life to be able to do it. I've done lots of different activities throughout the years. Different forms of different levels of fun, recreation, did some things professionally for a little bit, and I always came back to riding dirt bikes, and riding snowmobiles is an uncharted type of therapy. When you're on it, when you're doing it, when you're committed, thank you, brother, I appreciate it. When you're on it and you're committed and you're doing it, that's the only thing that can occupy your mind. You can't think about what's going on at work. You can't think about what's going on in your personal life. You can't think about whatever's in front of you. You can only see, that's why you can only see what's in front of you. Because if you don't, you're messed. You're going to hit a rock, you're going to hit a tree, you're going to crash, you're going to die, you're going to burn, you get broke, banged up, whatever it may be. And that's the center. That's what that recenter is. That's what that switch is when life just keeps kicking you in the teeth. You can hop on the back of your bike. You can hop on your snowmobile, whatever it may be. Maybe it's a horse. Maybe it's a skateboard. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's quilting. Whatever it is. I don't care what it is. You've got to have that to come back and bring yourself back to that center. Clear your mind and be ready to go back on with your weekday, month, whatever it may be. So, can you feel me on that? How many people use, drop a 1 in the comments if you utilize some sort of, a lot of people use a gym, anything, whatever. If you don't have that thing that pulls you back and that keeps you moving forward, let's find it for you. Let's dig in. Let's find something. Let's chase that. Let's do that. Can you feel me on that? Who's all on? I give you guys some shout outs. Trevor, Marilyn, thank you for popping in. Lee, Leo, John, Ryan, what's everybody doing? So again, about a year ago, I sat down and I kind of dug into some things, and I told you, that was what Driven was born out of. I was not doing the things that were going to take me to where I wanted to go, and I realized I had to do some things differently. So, like I said, I opened a book and I pressed play on Facebook Live. You guys getting to see me grow through this process, and the funnest thing about it is things are starting to happen. Like, momentum's starting to occur, and that's the coolest part. I've started a few online things, and they're both starting to take form. John just sent me a picture. He got his first Driven shirt. If you guys want to get the gear, ridelifedynamics.com. We'll get you a shirt shipped out. It'd be bad. So things are starting to catch momentum, and I'm like, yes, positive tries, bad. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. When things start going, and there's still setbacks. There's always going to be the mishaps. There's always going to be little things that are like, that's not exactly how I planned it. But the mindset, the ability to recenter yourself, that mindfulness to be like, okay, this is my current situation. This is what I'm faced with right now. But let me try to think about that in a little different light. Is this happening, to me, or is it happening for me? Little things like that. You're like, oh, this gives me an opportunity. I was in a meeting all day, safety meetings, training meetings at work, all day, and there was something that was really on my mind and I want to bring up. And I'm like, well, is this the time? Is this the place? And is this something that's happening to me? And even if I brought it up, do I have the ability to change it? I kind of answered that question. I'm like, well, not really. They probably need to know it, but I'm not going to change it in that instance. So it wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right place. So I just I didn't bottle it in. I just had the mindfulness to know that there's going to be another situation to address this issue, and there's going to be another opportunity to maybe make some change out of it. And I put a post up just a couple hours ago about that exact thing. It's like, man, you have what you need. Don't worry about the stuff you can't change. Focus on the things you can change. And that's where the throttle therapy comes in. And that's where those releases, that gym, that mental toughness, that consistent application of the self-development to handle those situations comes in handy. That's right. That's right, Ryan. Read that. Check that out. I'd like that if I could. I don't want to touch it right now. But that's what I'm talking about. And that's what this show's about. We're gonna reach out now to Patrick. We're going to get to know him a little bit. He's building a business on the back of throttle therapy. It's his passion. It's something he's into. Boom, he just hopped on. I love it. Let's do this. Nope, wrong button. Approve.
What's up, boys and girls?
How are you?
How's it going tonight? Doing excellent. Doing excellent. Hey, I want to thank you, Scott, for having me on. This is quite a privilege. I want to thank David Dieter and iRev, you guys. It's super cool crew. All the other iRev team riders, Jason Brandt, Cody Metachuk, Mark Wilson, Pop Shia Fuller, all kinds of bros. Shane Home, we got a big crew going, doing big things, just like you said, trying to get some new stuff going. You know, just like you said, got a little bit of clay and we're trying to mold it. I don't know what the hell it's going to turn into yet, but I know I love snow biking, and the crew I'm with kind of in that same mind state, driven right now for that particular passion. And it's based on a throttle that is providing serious therapy.
Dude, I love that, man. You got that way better down than I got my spiel down. I've been doing it. Were we on episode 21? I did a bunch of practice ones, but man, welcome. Thank you so much. And dude, I do want to give a shout out to iRev and Dave Dieter. Everybody, we're kind of going to get taken over these next couple of weeks. I got some big guests from the iRev team, like Patrick, coming on. We're going to have David on next week, the brains behind the operation, if you will. So a huge shout out. Follow iRev and check out what they got going on. Big things going down. So again, thank you. And Patrick, thank you so much for your time tonight. It's not easy to carve an hour out, especially over there at 9 o'clock at night. We all got things going on, so I do value your time, and I do say thank you very much.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I also want to give a huge shout out to my girlfriend. That's the rock that keeps me pushing and supporting the man. So big shout out to my love, Tanya Diferio.
All right.
Little lady.
So now is a little chit chat time, man. We'll have it's just a simple show. We like to keep it kind of focused on the same thing. I got 3 questions: a little bit about your story, a little bit about your mindset to tackle the things you want to do and pursue your passions and what you're doing to get there type stuff. And then the third question is just, things you pull on, people you leverage in your network, maybe resources you use to learn your skills where you're lacking, stuff like that. So with that said, man, let's tell everybody a little bit about yourself, maybe a little bit about what got you to where you're at, and then lay out where you want to go, man. What's your story?
Appreciate it. So name's Patrick Riske, originally from Michigan. Lived in quite a few states around the country. Lived in Portland, Oregon for a couple of years, and in San Diego, California for a couple of years. And then back to Colorado again. So I've been in Colorado now 15 years.
Nice.
Kind of found a center, you know what I mean? I got the best of both worlds. I feel like beautiful weather living down in Denver, head up to the mountains, an hour drive, and get into deep powder. Typical season, get into some pretty deep powder. So pretty blessed with all that. And the mountains are providing access to backcountry, which is what I enjoy. You know, getting on quads, dirt bikes, snowmobiles, side-by-sides, even just, getting in the truck, four-wheeling, whatever. For whatever reason, all those things are fueling a passion inside me, and it's amazing. It is literally that throttle therapy. That's why I started the company name as Throttle Therapy, because that's what it feels like to me. I get that freedom from my everyday life. Doesn't really matter what you're doing. You can be up there walking around or riding, whatever the hell you got, or you just walking around is enjoyable. Enjoying the outdoors is the biggest thing, I think. And I just got really hooked on all the motors for whatever reason. So, I've evolved from, from when being a little kid, riding a little kitty cat snowmobile, or 5 and 6 years old, progressing now to ride the backcountry with pro riders. It's evolved, and I'm not that guy yet, but I'm trying my best. I'm racing in the X Games. Mark Wilson. I was racing the X Games last year in the snow bike, timber sled, snow bike races. I mean, that's amazing to me. He took first in the MSSR snow bike races, which is awesome. So props to Phil Valem and Mountain State Snowmobile Racing. I actually got a little racing in myself for the first time in my life this year and took 3rd place in the hill climb. Pretty exciting stuff.
Dude, I got a story too about that. Like, I've never done a hill climb before, and we just threw one together. It wasn't organized or nothing, but man, it's like to take something, it's been recreational my whole life. It's been just, a pleasure. Go out,
Same here.
adventure, and challenge yourself, get that therapy. But I put myself up against the clock for the first time a couple weekends ago, and I'm like, uh-oh.
It's a different test, man. It's a different test, the whole thing, But I like that because, most of the time we're riding, we're always pinning everywhere and racing around. We're not just putzing. So it's it felt like, well, why the hell not get on a course and see how I do against other racers? How does my bike do? It's another thing with throttle therapy. I'm running all two-strokes, 300 two-strokes, KTM. So it's a little different. Everybody in the snow bike world is really focused on the 450s. They're great bikes. Most bikes will work just fine on the snow bike kits. I prefer a 300 two-stroke. They're real light, real agile. And for boondocking in the tight trees, technical stuff, I really enjoy it. So kind of swimming upstream, swimming against the current here with some of this stuff. But I think that's how you make a mark. And, it's inexpensive in comparison to two-stroke for rebuilding. I'm not a mechanic, but I'm doing all the transferring of the tracks back to dirt and back to snow, putting in new top ends, rebuilding forks. The school of YouTube has taught me so much. It's amazing. Think back. That's the University of YouTube is what I'm going through right now. I got
Absolutely.
Stepping up some mechanic buddies that are really intelligent and good, and they're nerding out like I am, like coming up with crazy ideas. So it's contagious. Cool stuff. I'm really proud to be involved in all this. My buddy Jason Brandt, I hooked up with him about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
We're partners in a company called Moto Evolution, so we're doing selling Mototrax kits, so a new up-and-coming company, working through the issues like any beginning company, but doing well by all the players. So pretty exciting stuff. Like I said, trying our best to get involved in any way that we can. Got a fleet of bikes to rent this next year through Throttle Therapy. We're going to try to get a fleet of either 3 to 6 bikes, depending on what the demand is kind of what I'm evaluating. So I got a fleet of 2 300 XCs, 14 and a 16. And another 15 XCs. So we got 3 bikes ready to go and a couple 137-inch 137 SX kits. So what that means is this right here. So there's the Mototrax kit right there. That's a 120-inch factory edition 2018 motocross edition kit right there. And this right here is the
hand is on the camera.
Thanks for the clarity. Forgot about the
Looking at your hand there, brother.
I'm new to this whole camera deal here. All right, so can you see the damn thing? Not really, huh?
Not so much, but we get it, man.
It's really complicated. Apparently I can't quite get that down, but at any rate, we got to couple out this next year. Here we go. That's a little better angle.
There we go. She's a beaut.
7 kit.
Now, are those the fuel injected 2-strokes?
They are not. I'm running electron carb, which is a smart carb, so it adjusts for fuel or for temperature and altitude, which helps quite a bit. And I still have a little carburetor on one of them as well. They run amazingly well with the carburation. They rip. It's not as fast, I would say, as a 450, but 2-strokes, they like it wide open. So when you're wide open on them, they're purring. They love it. You just got to hold that throttle, zip tie that fucker down, and hold it down,
That's right. You froze up a little bit there, man. Dude, I feel like there's 100 little sections in there we could dive in on and talk about. Yeah, you froze up pretty good. Anyway, if you guys are just hopping on, we got a little technical difficulty going on over here. We got Patrick Riske out in Colorado. He's building a company called Throttle Therapy. He's got a fleet of 2-stroke snow bikes. He's setting up to build a better. Looks like he just cut out. We'll add him back on in a minute. He's building a company to put out some rental fleets in the Colorado area. Not exactly sure where, but Patrick Riske connected to David Dieter at iRev. He's the one that put us in contact, and that's the coolest thing about this show is I started the conversation with David Dieter a little while ago, and he was kind of enjoying what we're putting down here, and through that conversation, and the power of networking and the power of obviously social media is he's been able to put me in contact with a lot of people that are passionate about chasing their dreams. They're passionate about doing what they want to do, and it gives an opportunity for me to bring a new guest on here. And I didn't even met Patrick. We talked on the phone last night, and that's it. And I can tell that his energy, I love his energy. I feed off that. I mean, I'm doing the best I can here tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I worked like 19 hours straight this last day through the night, and then rolled right into some meetings. But I'm feeling his energy, man. It's firing me up. Here we go. We're gonna bring him right back on right now. What's up, if you guys? Whoa, dude.
What up? He's
Wardrobe,
back.
wardrobe change.
It got hot.
On the Oscars?
Yeah, well, it got hot, man. It got hot. Get me hot under the collar. Dude, all this action.
It's the Facebook Live energy, man. People don't really savvy it, but there's an adrenaline rush to doing this. It's crazy.
Camera didn't work, man. The cameraman was fucking up.
And that's the power. We totally have the power right here. I created my own little network, my own little TV network here, my own show. I'm the producer, I'm the writer, I'm the promoter, I'm the marketing company. I am everything. And that's like, if that's not the entrepreneurial mindset and everything you take on, and like you said, a YouTube University is kind of what got me here. I've learned all this stuff through different social media people and through YouTube and watching videos. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get back to you, man. We learned a little bit about what you are, who you are, and what you're about. Let's talk about that mindset. Let's talk about maybe overcoming adversity. Let's talk about things that you do to get.
Someone knocked on the window.
Was it your mom?
I don't know.
She was. Yeah, it's her mom. She was bringing your karate bag over. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Right. Awesome.
It's live show.
Actually, this is perfect. You do karate. Your son do karate?
Yeah, he started about 2 months ago.
So that's perfect. So my dad, this is actually probably where a lot of this stuff started, just my drive. So my dad was really big into Aikido, Kung Fu, and Judo when we were kids. So we were kind of put into that, which I'm not a martial arts guy or anything like that, but it was more of you can accomplish what you put your mind to kind of things. And you really can, and then you start selling small goals. Next thing, the small goals accomplish a big goal. And the more you set, the easier it is to accomplish. You know what I mean? So I do a lot of silly things, which is kind of silly, but I got little Post-it notes kind of things all over the place, and it has little kind of things I need to get done. So I got to do exactly the same thing because things I need to get done. Because what happens is when I realize that, I got all these little things all over the place, and when I get those things accomplished, I scratch them off the list. And then so I know I've accomplished those things, and I can literally see the accomplishments that I want to accomplish, and then see the ones that I have accomplished. And you start and they're small, they're nothing major, maybe mow the lawn, maybe blow out the gutters, maybe switch the snow bike kit, maybe put a top end in. But as you start checking these things off the list, those are the accomplishments that make a huge goal possible. I mean, literally. So I think that's where, a lot of this has come from. Just small steps equal climbing a mountain. You just got to do 10,000 of them or 1,000 of them, depending on the size of the mountain you want to climb.
Dude, that's it. And last week we talked about it. It's every step, even if sometimes it may not feel it's like in the right direction or it's not totally focused on exactly what you're headed towards. It's a step, maybe, it's a step.
Exactly.
Like reading this book has nothing to do with, launching a internet online e-commerce store. It doesn't have anything to do with any of the stuff I'm doing, but it is a step in the right direction because it builds that mindset. And it equips me a little bit better to take on different challenges I face.
Exactly. So when I started throttle therapy, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it. I know I love snow biking. I know I love snowmobiling. I know I love side-by-sides. I love recording all this stuff. So I got a drone. I got all these things. I just been saving up over years, and the stuff just accumulates. And all of a sudden now, now it's moving towards a rental business. But that wasn't really the first vision. It was maybe videography or maybe just buying and building kits and selling them or maybe whatever. But all I know is I really enjoy snow biking. It's kind of an evolution from snowmobiling. My progression of snowmobiling was really getting into technical terrain, really steep and deep backcountry types of snowmobiling. And it was fun, but I think I wanted a new challenge. I'm always interested in new challenges. When I was young, from age 5 until 12, I skied, and was riding Black Diamond Hills when I was 6, 7 years old, just as a little guy. My dad used to hold me between his legs, teaching me when I was 5, just picking me up, my skis would cross type of thing, and then awesome stuff. So I accomplished that goal, and I was on to snowboarding, and I've been snowboarding now for 23 years. I mean, it's crazy. You start thinking about it, 24 years. I mean, you start looking back at how long you've been doing things for, which at first it's just you do it once, then twice, and 3 times. All of a sudden it becomes a passion. You end up living in Colorado and trying to start a snow bike company.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You never know where
renting bikes. So you never know where your passions will take you. Those small little steps that end up being something huge.
Create that momentum, man. Create momentum. That's a foundation of it. It's crazy. It's almost eerie how similar a lot of their story is especially into like throttle therapy and what I'm doing with Ride Life. I had no idea. I had a name, an idea, and a passion, and I'm like, how do I connect the triangle and make them all work together? And it's taken a few different courses, and you know what? I know where I want it to go, and I know kind of how to get it there, but I don't really know what, the shift that's going to take it from A to B, but I can keep taking those little steps, making those little goals. Next thing, it's a big step. I hit a little step this week, and I am absolutely fired up about it. And I'm like, hey, what's next, man? Let's go get it. So I love that, dude. That's the mindset. That's the thing.
First guys that climbed Everest, they didn't know the right path to take. They just knew they had to keep moving forward somehow. Just keep him going no matter what, this way, that way, backwards maybe, and then up again. You got to figure it out. That's the kind of the joy, that's the joy of life. You got to appreciate the challenge, That's the one constant in life is going to be change. The more we understand that, the more easy it is to embrace the changes that constantly are thrown in our face, I think.
I absolutely agree. I'm going to kind of break down and give a shout out to everybody and let them know what we got going on here. I see a few people hopping on. Brian, my man, how you doing? Everybody, this is Patrick Riske, Colorado cat. He's building a company called Throttle Therapy. What's that?
Risky with an R.
Risky.
Yeah.
I thought I said that. Maybe I didn't.
All right, my bad. It's probably my bad. It's probably my bunt cameraman again.
It's the cameraman. Come on, cameraman. What
Come
do I pay you for?
Step it up, Verizon.
But again, this is Driven, man. It's a show just centered around mindset and pursuing that passion and turning your passions. And I say, and that kind of like turning your passions into reality. It's kind of, maybe overused a little bit, but it really rings a bell for me because I figured out something my boy and I were both passionate about. I know what I want to do, and I've tied a business around it, and now I'm trying to make it create it from nothing. So that's where Driven was started, just a way to connect with people, meet great people like Patrick, like Zach, like Dave Dieter, like Jason.
Brian, Eric Schmuckel. What's up, Eric? Woo!
If you guys got any questions or comments, drop them in. Let me know where you're from. Let's connect. Did we lose him again?
Nope,
you're
back.
Good. You're back.
All right.
All right, cool, man. You want to hit on mindset anymore? I love where you're at with that. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, what are we talking about here? I go for days. I've traveled a lot, I guess. So when you see kind of what other people go through in order to, for enjoyment and things like that, and you see kind of what the opportunities that we have, even at the smallest level, we have a tremendous amount of opportunity here that we take for granted quite often. So it's one of those things where perspective is huge. You know what I mean? So I advise traveling. I think that's really smart in order to create a good balance of what reality really is for a lot of the planet, except, just us as kind of privileged folks, and all this stuff I've worked really hard for, you know what I mean? I've taken chances and I've pushed really hard, and I don't have brand new everything, but it's pretty damn close, and it runs amazing, and it keeps up with, the brand new 18 everything. So I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I'm excited to get people out on these. Machines. And everyone wants to take a spin, we'll do a demo day early season just to let everybody hop on and give them a shot. And then, it's going to be a good setup. So we got some new things, maybe some new mechanical things, but I'm going to keep that kind of under wraps because exactly. Anticipation for everybody, some anticipation. But no, so pretty pumped. So new things coming. So we're gonna be doing videography for the rentals as well. I got a nice Mavic Pro 4K drone. So everybody that goes out
Nice.
and rent it will be going home with a nice video package, for some drone footage and helmet cams and all that stuff. So you get a little bit of something to show to your family and friends about the fun you're having with throttle therapy. So super cool.
That's it, dude. I love
Super
that.
cool.
That's a good spin on the rental side of things. Is give somebody some content on their way out, and they can take that not only
Yeah,
that memory with them, but that footage with them forever, and blow up that
exactly.
Instagram
It's
maybe.
crucial. I record almost every time we ride, and I have never gone through all the footage. I just keep stockpiling it. And
I
I figure that one day, if God bless, I don't, but if ever something happens and I can't ride like I'm doing right now, I can relive all of these things via the videos and
yeah.
and just for my kids or for family, whoever else might be around someday. It's an important memory for me to treasure. It's things. 'Cause like you said, when
Absolutely.
you're in that moment, you're so dialed in the moment. When you go back and look at some of this stuff, you're like, holy shit! You're like, whoa.
Dude,
Was that smart or was that
I
dumb? You're
almost
like, oh, whoa,
I
whoa.
almost don't like watching my GoPro footage because I'm like, why didn't I go up that line? Like, look at it. It was way better than the one I
Oh, I
just
know.
lined.
That's
Why
why
didn't I
it's
do
almost
that? Why didn't...
that's why it's funny. You start doing the lines you instantly your brain thinks about because I agree with that 100% because initially you'll see that more challenging line and it's much
Yeah.
easier to just go right over here. So I've started to just attack the more challenging line and I'm much more
Yeah.
happy. Honestly,
I
much
love it.
happier with my production. It helps.
Yes. I love it,
Exactly. I
dude.
did it. I did it. I'm not regretting my line choice. Super cool.
Dude, I love that. I love that. I'm feeling it. So, man, I want to thank everybody for hopping on here tonight. I know your time's valuable. We're super appreciative for everybody that shares this out and everybody that spends a little time with us. So, thank you guys. All right, let's make a transition here quick. I want to talk about. I started reading and listened to some podcasts and listened to some people that really focus on the mindset side of things, focusing on how to address certain situations that might be shitty or challenging and different ways to handle those. And I always like to ask my guests, what are some tools, what are some resources, what are some things? Obviously, riding bikes is one of those things to help your mind. But what are some things that you pull on to kind of reinforce that mindset, reinforce that that driven mentality to get you to keep pushing and doing new things?
I constantly stay motivated. Remember, I was showing you all the kind of the post-its, the checklist.
Yep.
Not everything on there is snow bike related. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's all about accomplishing goals, whether they be big or small. I
Yep.
cook 2 meals a day at my house. I work for myself, at least 2 to 3 meals a day at my house. So I'm constantly doing that. It's simple things like that provide a lot of joy and happiness. So I'm constantly doing, I guess, projects, staying motivated, continuing the momentum is probably the best way to say that. Don't be
Yeah.
stagnant. Keep moving, keep driving because that's what you have to do. Whether it's cleaning house, whether it's getting to work, putting in extra hours in order to accomplish what you want, in order to get to that next level, the next phase. That's crucial. You know what I mean? It's self
Yes, sir.
motivation. And once you start that path and you start that momentum, it's almost like it starts rolling downhill and it doesn't want to stop, and it's just like this unstoppable ball. And you're like, okay, and you can't slow down, you can't stop. So, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. You just got to push, and eventually
Drop,
life will push you. It's probably the best way I can put that.
dude, I love it. I love it. Let's kind of open it up now, if you're cool with it. Some Q&As. If there's anything up front that you wanna give a shout out to, any specific people, companies, whatever, let's do that now. And then if you guys want to drop some questions in the comments, I got David. I wrote it down in my brain. I'll get yours asked, but
In the
do your
brain.
shout outs, drop your comments. Let's open it up to some Q&A. All right, Jason, David asked, what was your best day riding this year? Is there one day that sticks out to you, or?
God, it was been a pretty busy season this year, really, honestly. It's been pretty busy. We went up to Togety for 4 or 5 days. We did the races up at Rabbit Ears and there a couple times. I mean, been all over. The snow hasn't been that good this year in Colorado, to be honest. The one nice thing about snow bikes provides you a lot of access to terrain when you don't need as deep of a snowpack in order to access it. and you're going
Yeah.
where snowmobiles typically don't go if you're going to really tight trees. So it's a little different, but it's for lean years, it's great. I mean, this year I got on October 3rd, so I was one of the first people to ride this year. I think we saw Chris Barant down the valley, rabbit ears, and they were up posting all kinds of videos. It was super cool shit, you know.
Yeah.
In my season, I'm going riding tomorrow up at Jones Pass. So, and last year I rode to June 5th. So, I mean, pushing from October 3rd to May, 17th on the lean snow year. That was pretty awesome
That
stuff. So
that ain't bad, man.
privileged to be able to do that stuff.
That keeps the therapy sessions rolling long
That's it.
time.
I'm transferred to dirt. I got a couple of the bikes already switched over to dirt.
Mhm.
I'm a little more timid on the dirt. Dirt hurts. Rocks are painful, so I keep it a little easier with the snow. You know, it just feels like it's just foam pit everywhere I go. So you just
Right.
ready to hammer down. If you
Invincible.
fail, it's the consequences are a lot less severe. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
Zach
my
Butterworth. Zach Butterworth says, "I love the snow bike people, the relationships we have." Yeah, dude, I can totally see it.
totally true. Zach's super
It's-
good man. Got to ride with him this year. That was awesome. Hooking up in Aspen. I'd say probably my favorite time. Even though we wasn't crazy, but Aspen, riding with the boys, riding with Zach, going to X Games, going to see Cody win gold. I mean, Dave Dieter totally hooked me up, had me staying at his house. Got married. Did it super cool. He got married live on like I think it's NBC or Fox, whoever was hosting the X Games. Like him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super cool stuff. I mean, it's once in a lifetime type of shit. You know, I mean, it's
Uh-huh.
really groundbreaking stuff. So much appreciated, Dave Dieter. It's awesome stuff. And yeah, I'd love to come ride McCall. I think that'd be super fun. That should be awesome.
We'll be up. I got to connect with a lot of people. I've met a lot of people through this. We have a place up right outside of McCall. Family. I just kind of only rode with family while I'm up there, but I got a lot of people I got to get out to see and ride with. That's one thing about this show. Like everyone's like, when you come to Washington, people I've met through the show. When you come to Washington, when you come to Wyoming, when you come to Utah, when you come to Colorado, and I'm like, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to build something to get to
Well, you
those
got a place
places.
to stay if
So-
you need it here, buddy. You know, and
I
I got a
love it,
hauler,
dude. I'm
able to start towing the toy hauler all around the damn country and do a big old loop. Loop the whole damn all the way up to Washington and Idaho and all that shit. Wyoming, Montana, do the whole thing. That'd be fun as hell.
That's the ride life, man. That's right. That's ride life. I want to take driven on the road. I want to go into people's lives. I want to do things like hang out with you for a week. Do some vlogging with you. Promote your company, promote your bikes, capture some content,
Yeah.
do some interviews, and try to grow our industry. Grow where mainly is grow the mindset, help people get where they want to go, and also raise awareness about how we use the backcountry and why we need motorized vehicles to be able to do it and things like that.
Yeah.
Just raise some awareness, have some fun, and push some people, make them do the thing, and help them get where they want to go.
Agreed. And get a shout out to Mike Duffy and Avalanche One. Some avalanche training is always crucial. You know, get the training, make sure you know what you're doing out in the backcountry, make sure you're wearing your safety gear, your avalanche beacon probes, understand what position and what dangers you're taking. You know, there are extreme dangers out there potentially. Be aware, you know. So that's probably, mega important. You know, it can be fun, but it can also be incredibly dangerous. That is
Make good decisions.
exactly. And that's the element of this is the most fun when it's extreme danger. But just be aware, you can put yourself in dangerous situations and still get rescued, by your crew and things like that.
Yeah.
I see this constantly. Snow biking is a team sport. Even though you're one guy on one bike, it's a team sport because you got to ride with folks that are like-minded. They're going to save you. You can save them. They're going to help you get unstuck. They get along with. I mean, these things, they're crucial, in my opinion.
Lyric, thanks for hopping on. I appreciate what's up, boys. Riding a loop. Yeah, that's what right? I'm gonna have just a trail of network people. We'll just make it a circle. We'll roll 50 strong and we'll just blow up some zones.
Love it. I love it. All about it, man. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So cool, man. Dude, I love it. Dude, David, thank you for connecting us. Patrick, I love your energy. I love your vision. I love your mindset. Like, these are the people I want in my corner. I want to be able to pull that energy from you. I want to help you any way I can, and doing things like this. I'm learning how to leverage social media, to help grow my vision, help grow my passion, and if I can do that for somebody else, and we take this somewhere, that'd be the biggest reward is to reach out to somebody and maybe, get them get them a step closer to where they want to be, create that, knock that one thing off their list maybe they've been struggling with. And maybe it's just connecting two people, somebody on the other side of this show that's watching, and you talk and make a connection, and it takes both of you guys where you want to go. Like, that's driven, man. That's how I want to roll. So here we are.
I love it, man. I love it, Scott. Good man. Beautiful word.
All right. So you got any final thoughts you want to leave everyone with? You got any final things you want to get out there?
What I write down? I got down some small stuff. I think I pretty much covered it. Oh yeah, I want to shout out to 2B Gear. They've been hooking me up with some ProForm stuff. Backcountry access. I do Abby packs, Abby gear, all kinds of awesome avalanche safety equipment, beacons, probes, all that good stuff. Already shout out Mike Duffy, Moto Evolution, Jason Brand, Ira Apparel. That's about it. MSSR, KTM bikes. Love the KTMs. Yeah, love all snow bikes. Love all kits. Love everybody. Let's make a beautiful world out of this beautiful damn world. You know
Yes, brother. Yes. If you're feeling Patrick, if you're feeling what he's putting down, connect with him. Throttle Therapy business page. Shoot him a friend request. Reach out to him. Ask him what he's got going on, and just connect, man. Just connect and support everybody. Let's grow the sport. Let's grow snow biking. Let's grow motorized use in the backcountry, and let's grow our mindsets. Most importantly, let's make these minds take us where we want to go.
Up. Love it.
Straight up the mountain. To the mountaintop, baby.
Yeah, you can tell I'm focused on one thing.
Going up.
Hilarious.
Cliff Taylor, I'm not snow biking. I'm still on 2 skis, but I got consecutive 1 skis coming on the show, so I'm sled only right now. I do want to buy a track kit for my pit bike. I think that'd be pretty sick.
Dude, they're cheap now too, man. You can get a small kit for $1,500. I mean, they're
I got a bored out race gas pit bike.
Yeah.
CBR.
Put it on there. Dude, I got to ride a CBR 1000 2 weeks ago at the Spring Fling. That thing go like 85 miles an hour. Crazy. This guy just created it. And I got to ride KTM 1190, an adventure bike.
A picture.
The guy from Over Under, he let me ride his bike. I let him hop on my 300. He's apparently going to be driving his bike to the North and the South Poles, trying to break a Guinness World Record of the first snow bike to ever, do the North and South Pole kind of trek. I mean, just these are the kind of crazy guys that we're hanging out with. But they just got crazy ideas. You know what I mean? They're just like, I'm like, that's awesome. I'm crazy too. I got crazy ideas. I don't know what the hell the ideas are even going to be, But
dude, people called Jeff Bezos of Amazon crazy for doing what he was going to do.
What I mean.
People called Mark Zuckerberg crazy for trying to do this. Like, crazy ideas. The greatest things come from crazy ideas because it's a progressive thought. It's a different thought. It's
thinking out of the box
differently, and people kind of get scared sometimes when you do things differently.
Totally. Got to think out of the box a little bit. Otherwise, we'll all be doing the same thing all the time,
Absolutely.
Love it.
All right, man, dude, I got to say, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on this show tonight. I'm extremely thankful for your time.
Yeah, no
Found
problem.
it.
Anytime. Love you, boys.
All right, let's connect, man. Let's plan something. Let's stay connected all summer, and then let's get you set up for next winter. Maybe we'll bring you back on before the snow starts to fly, and let everybody in the network know if I roll this thing through the whole summer, there's no reason there's not going to be 100 people sitting on this channel right here watching us on Wednesday nights.
Sure.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Man. It's awesome. Let's drive some people here to some beautiful thought. Love it.
I love it, man. Thank you. I wrap it up with a little spiel. If you're done, I'll take it from here.
Sounds good, brother. Peace out, everybody. Much love.
All right. Remember, everybody, no matter where you're at in life, no matter where you're at physically, financially, personally, professionally, we all have the power to make a decision. We all have the power to turn that switch in our minds and be able to go do the things we want to do. Yes, it takes hard work. Yes, it takes time. And no, it will not happen overnight for anybody. But as long as you make that decision, as long as you take that step, to go where you want to go and start doing the things you want to do. You're one step closer than you were yesterday. So with that, I leave you. Keep that mindset on fire. Keep that passion burning inside you. And whatever you do, stay driven.